Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Oh, that was okay, that was not the warmest welcome, but I'm gonna be honest, that's just kind of how I'm feeling. Oh, so today we're talking about week 7, which was recovering a sense of connection. So I just want to address something like before I go into full on talking about specifically what is in this chapter. And I just want to address like how I feel overall just in this entire Artist Way journey, and kind of just I'm pretty much midway. Yeah, I'm about a little bit over midway through. And I just wanted to address just like how I've been feeling and whatever. So since I started the Artist Way, I originally started this because I feel like it's been hard for me to be creative and to feel free to be creative and to enjoy my creativity. So that's why I originally went to this. And I feel like the fact that it is a more spiritual approach also pulled me in, because my spirituality is just very present in my life. And what I mean by that is I value the spiritual aspects of things and like why things are happening, like all these kind of like I value that kind of stuff. So I'll say like me being in, I'm about to go into week 8. It's kind of wild. Honestly, I kind of feel like this book makes me feel like I'm in another therapy session throughout my week. Like I have therapy once a week where I go and I talk to my therapist, and it's awesome. And sometimes we even talk about this book, which is like ironic because she had no idea that I was even doing this book, and she would bring it up to me. And I feel like since I've started this journey, the deep dive that this makes you look into yourself is actually really wild. And it talks a lot about synchronicities and things, which like I've said before, like I experience that a lot anyway in like the past couple years in particular. Okay, so in week 7, in recovering a sense of connection, what really stood out to me was the part about perfectionism. And I feel like that is what I have been grappling with a lot in like the past week or so, especially like me being at the end of finishing an EP that I started like in September, and it's like low-key been done, but it just wasn't completely mixed and mastered because I was just dragging ass and procrastinating on it. Like I could have been done with this last year if I wasn't completely caught up in the idea of this has to be perfect in every single way. And okay, I'm just gonna take a second. I honestly might keep this in. Sometimes I just have to pause and I just need to breathe and just refocus in on like how I'm feeling and what is happening, what's going on. I feel like being on this journey with the Artist Way, but also like prior to the Artist Way, I feel like this just kind of became a tool more so than the actual journey that I'm on. This is just kind of like a tool. And I have been dealing with a lot of uncomfortable ass feelings, including me facing my perfectionism and identifying like this part of me, like the pessimist in me and the critic in me, and untangling that from my inner artist while also having love and understanding for that part of me has been so interesting, trying to like navigate in between. Because, you know, I would never, or at least something that I'm learning is that I don't want to shun the parts of myself that don't have it all together. And yeah, just accepting the imperfection in art, in my art, the imperfection in life. And I feel like people tell you these kinds of things all the time about like, nobody's perfect, I gotta work it. I don't know why in particular. I was thinking about Hannah Montana saying it. But people say this, not just Hannah Montana, but yeah, like nobody's perfect, you know? And sometimes I feel like that is easier said than realized. Yeah, this week is a little bit different. I feel like I had to address that. I did something very, very interesting. I did end up working on some beats yesterday, and to my surprise, they sounded great. Producing beats is kind of like the last thing that I had on like my checklist of being I was gonna say one size fits all, of being a Swiss Army knife of a musician. I just never really took producing as seriously and never really thought that I could do it as good. But this week I realized like I just might actually be like a dope ass beat producer. And she's been like living in me all this time, and discovering that part of myself is kind of like, dang, like this is something else that I haven't really allowed myself to believe in for real. So that is interesting. If you made it to this part of the video, then you obviously are either one, super deep into your artist way journey, or interested in the artist way journey and really interested in how that affects others, or you're two, a really big supporter of me, and in which case I appreciate you, thank you so much. But if you are just someone that is interested in the artist way, I will say that it is one of the best decisions that I made for my creativity. I just feel like I'm having a weird internal reaction to pulling out my creativity again, and it's interesting. I'm reflecting on it, and it does show me a lot about like my character and my blockages and all that. And so for that, I will say the artist way has been awesome. I am really interested in week 8, recovering a sense of strength. At this point, I feel like I'm rambling a little bit. This is a little bit of a different video, and like I said, I just want to be real and honest about the state that I'm in right now. I'm like not super gung-ho. I am just sitting back and watching this life of mine teach me things. So that's where I'm at. And yeah, I will be back hopefully next week to talk more about my artist way journey. And if you've been watching and following me along this journey, thank you so much. So if you are not Ronika, thanks for watching. I hope that you're getting something out of these videos. But if you are Renika, I know that you're getting something out of these videos, and I just want to remind you that wherever you are in your journey, you are doing a great job, and I'm so proud of you. So yeah, that was for Renika. So if you're not Renika, I don't know, you could take that too. But yeah, on that note, I'm gonna go. Bye.